going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Friday, August 26th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you all very much. It's been a weird, interesting week. Hope it's been good, though, and you found those positive moments as we come into this Friday. And yeah, where that's going to take us moving forward. We're deep in a balsamic moon, about to get a new moon, of course, in Virgo. But we're not quite there yet. We're going to see that moon finishing up in Leo today. And really, it's kind of out of a lot of water in a lot of ways. It's just getting ready for this new moon that's going to be at 4 degrees of Virgo. So we're really trying to figure out, I think, a lot of our realities and a lot of the things in life that give us the shine that we looked for in Leo season, while feeling like that shine was repressed in some way, like it was, oppressed. And maybe that's where we find a lot of our happiness on this Friday, is like really getting back to like looking at positives, looking at the little things and like putting them together. Mercury's in Libra now for a full day. So we have this first full day of Mercury here in Libra, and Libra is the aesthetic, it's the beauty, it's relationships, it's people, it's other people energy that's going to be on our mind, but it's also the scales in our lives and where we can be a little wishy-washy with a Mercury in Libra. We could be at a place where we're stressing out building up to a new moon in Virgo because we're on this teeter-totter of life and we're not kind of willing to see just that there's a beautiful essence that's going to illuminate life. There's things that are closing out that are taking that illumination and kind of like putting a lampshade over it. So it's like, where's the lampshade in life right now? And why have we not just taken that thing off? If we want the light to shine, shine the light. It's a big test. And with Venus here square the nodes, but really that Venus at 18 degrees is square Uranus finally. Oh man. Getting ready for an opposition to Saturn with the new moon. A lot of this is about the relationships and the value. And I think realizing that we really don't know with the square to Uranus. And this Virgo sun and Mercury even just leaving Virgo, I feel like we can want things to have some essence of perfection, but it's the imperfection that is perfection. There is no perfect form of how life should be going right now. And I think wherever we're at right now, where we're trying to force things or have this ideal of how exactly life should go and plan things out, and if things don't go according to plans, we're getting frazzled, or people are doing things and we're letting people get under our skin or stress us out. Like that's where Uranus is breaking the chains here and Venus is squaring it. Like, yeah, these relationships, they're not going into the future you're going into. They're not going into the love that you're going into. They're going somewhere else. So it feels very interesting with people energy, and I think that's going to be on our mind a lot today, especially dealing with the people that we want to be around, that bring us comfort, that bring us a sense of security. Where we find that security in ourselves is very important too. But we can get lost in that, seesaw, if you will, of life and going back and forth, because I think there's a level of, with the moon quincunx over to Neptune, where we do really want to be compassionate. We do want to be kind of, giving and unconditional in so many different ways. And I think that that's beautiful. But sometimes we got to really look at our values and really look at the people in our lives and if they align with those values, because that's where I think the astrology is pointing a really big finger at. And with Mars at 3 degrees, it's exactly square the sun today. So this has been building up all week. And of course, it's going to be part of that new moon energy that we're going to see early tomorrow, Saturday morning, that's, pushing us, prodding us, trying to keep us curious. Mars knows it's going through a lot. It's going to retrograde here. It's almost in shadow, but it's not there yet. That'll be 8 degrees. And I think it's trying to have us push for the curiosity of the changes that are purifying ourselves, purifying our lives, purifying our hearts, building more stability from within, because the stability as Saturn at 21, about to go to 20 degrees, is getting tighter and tighter to the square to Uranus. So there is no stability in this reality right now. And that's Saturn in Aquarius, the cold hard truth, if you will. that just when you think you found structure, just when you think you built a plan, just when you think you have the knowing of where everything's going to go, we don't. We don't have it. And we can get caught in our mind weighing things out, when I think right now is a day to really purify your life, your reality, your understanding of what you do want from the heart, and from the place where you're receiving what the universe is showing up with. And it's showing up with things that are not predictable, that are not seen, that are out of this world in some ways, but it's showing up with truth. And it's what you do with that truth that is liberating, but it can also feel a little destructive. And that moon's also, that moon is in a yod, really, today too, with Pluto. Quincunx Neptune, quincunx Pluto. So it's a dark moon in a yod, and the same yod that Venus is going to come into, the same yod that the sun was in. Like this, 25-degree range of Leo is really, really getting hit right now from a very deep soul essence of knowing how to have that grit and to keep going, but also the unbound creativity, the unbound potential to kind of dream and to kind of take in all the things that the universe has to offer, even if it doesn't look exactly like you wanted it to be offered up on a plate for you. But we still get choices. And I think that that's where, we're at right now, is there's choices from the heart, from more of a really centered place, and finding that balance. And instead of trying to justify everything or weigh things out, I really think that your mind is going to keep you in limbo when your heart, your soul, your emotions, that you're really feeling, but on a very it's not just any emotion just taking you and brushing you into the current to kind of sweep you up. It's emotional intelligence at a very high level that's giving you the curiosity and the strength that you need. So it's that energy that's very potent today as well. There's a lot going on in the astrology, and it's just going to keep going every day like this. So there's no more everything's just going to be great. We can carve greatness out of our lives, but just know that, changes are happening for a reason, externally, internally, and we have to be adaptable, mutable. And I think that that's where the Sun-Mars square can thrive, is when it's initiating the purification of reality and being curious and being open to the options that presents, and at least just trying and having that kind of very masculine energy with the Sun and Mars. It's you know what? I'm going to try this. This seems like it will clean things up where I need things cleaned up. So, potent day. And I hope you have a great, potent day. I hope this is definitely a Friday where you're getting nothing but the reflection of what your heart desires. And I think that it can show up in ways that are very uncomfortable if you're not getting what your heart desires. And that's where you have the great power right now to really start changing these things and getting the ball rolling, because everything's already presented itself. So we already know, and it's going to feel like things are shrinking if we're not changing in the moment, in the day, to get the aesthetic that we want to understand with our minds, to have the talks that are beautiful, to have the balanced understanding with other people. But we got to get to that place. I think today's a good lesson in how we can do that today and moving forward. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. It just kind of feels like, the path to what you thought was the ultimate manifestation is shifting, because it was unpredictable, it was unforeseen, it was meant to go to this other valuable place. And we can almost be too fixated or hypercritical on the outcome that was never meant to happen anyways. And we can stress and worry and beat ourselves up because we didn't hit this pinnacle or this peak that we thought we would. But really it was one that was never meant to be reached anyways. 8 of Cups upright. I gotta walk away from something that we're emotionally tied to. I mean, that's time to move on into a new direction. And I think that intuitively we definitely know where that's going. We can't stay attached to the same things we've been messing around with that aren't kind of doing something more potent for our lives, you know, from a heart space, not from a society, what you're supposed to be doing, some program, if you will, but from a really deep sense of who you are. And I think that those actions and that movement into where you really want to be and who you really are, those are the ones. It's all the other stuff that you think because of something that isn't even yours that we want to stay attached to. And we don't want to be there anymore. 10 of Wands in reverse. Dropping the weight is not always easy, is it? But we can't carry all this stuff forever, you know? So it's really about taking the initiative, even though it's hard, to let things go, to move in a direction that you don't even know what the outcome and what the ultimate goal and what this great build is going to look like, but it's in the cards for you. It's in the cards for all of us. And it's like the little things that we do to purify, beautify, and, you know, really relate to in a positive way, in a valuable way for what that is for you, that those choices are the most potent today. I hope you have a beautiful Friday. I will see you all for the weekend forecast tomorrow. Much love. Peace.